the last battle. Red, the last among the toughest trainers, is the opponent. How will the challenger take on the wily veteran who has prevailed through hundreds of battles? Victory is within sight. Go for it! Up high! A sharp attack! Oh, that's a miss! It's a fierce battle! There it goes! Yes, it's a hit! What now? Hit! That was good! Sparks are flying from both competitors. It continues to use its aerial attack. There's the shot. No, that didn't connect. They're both hanging tough. There's the attack. That's it. A furious attack! Hit! That inflicted some damage! The heated action continues! Fake attack! Right! That's a hit! Oh, it has no strength left! That fail will bring out a new Pokémon! Oh, it's Mewtwo! There's a big HP difference between the two combatants. Mega Punch! That's it! There it is! Knockout! We're eagerly awaiting the appearance of the next Pokémon. Oh, it's Sizzle! Two Pokémon remain on each side. What's next? That was weak. Oh, special defense is down. A sharp attack. That had to hurt. It restored HP with some leftovers. The white-hot battle continues. How's that? Sharp! Fury Color! Bullseye! It hung on by the skin of its teeth! It's a fierce battle! There! Quick attack! Right! That's a hit! Oh! Knockout! Just one Pokémon remains! Oh, it's Venusaur! This is the last Pokémon! Sparks are flying from both competitors! What now? That's it! There's the attack! That was a glancing blow! A hot battle is unfolding! What's this? It's a weak spot! That settles this battle! Congratulations!